Hi, and thanks for joining me today. So the groom decided to let me take the lead on this video. And he'll join me a little later when we give our thoughts on the game. But in the meantime, I am really excited to be able to teach you how to play Cat Sudoku Summer Festival. So without further ado, let's learn to play. Cat Sudoku Summer Festival is a 1 to 4 player game, ages 10 and up, and takes about 20 minutes to play. The object of the game is to place numbered and colored cards into a 3x3 grid, being sure not to place the same number or color in the same row or column a la standard Sudoku rules, all the while trying to place the cards into their designated column or rows to collect reserve tokens and points by stacking up the cards in their area. Keep in mind that this is prototype components. Each game will come with 36 cards in 5 different colors, 1 meeple, 10 reserve tokens, and a rulebook. It's very simple to set up the game for Cat Sudoku. There are different rules for 2-player and solo games as well as 4-player games, but they're easy. In a 2-player or solo game, you will take out all 9 of the purple cards and put them aside. Then you're going to shuffle the remaining cards and place them face down. You're going to remove 2 cards from the deck and place them back in the box. In a 4-player game, you'll go ahead and remove 3 cards. Once you have everything shuffled and the cards removed, you'll take the top card from the deck, place it in the middle of the table with the meeple on top. That card will be the middle card for the 3x3 grid. All players will then take 2 reserve cards and place them face up in front of them. In a solo or 2-player game, the players will take 3 cards instead of 2. Once the reserve cards have been taken, each player will receive 1 reserve token and place the others nearby so that they're in reach of everybody. Then choose a start player and begin. Each player's turn consists of 2 phases, one of which is optional. The first phase is drawing a card from the deck and placing it in the grid following the placement rule of no same color or number. Once placed, put the meeple on that card. If a card has the meeple on it, it cannot be stacked upon. The meeple will change position every time a card is placed, so you'll be able to stack other cards on top of that one at a later turn. If the card was placed in the position of their special placement rule, the player will grab a reserve token. If there aren't any more reserve tokens left, then that player just won't get one for that turn. If a card cannot be played due to the same number or color in a row or column, or if you just don't want to play it at that time, that card can go into your reserve area. The second optional phase is to play a reserve card, which you want to do since these cards remaining in your reserve area at the end of the game is worth -3 points. To play a reserved card, you will need to spend 2 reserve tokens per card. The reserved card is placed out following the normal placement rules, including special placement rules and rewards. There is no limit to the amount of reserved cards you can play as long as you have enough tokens to pay for each card. If at any time during gameplay an error is found in the grid, meaning a number or color has been duplicated in a row or column, then the player who found the error will take a reserve token. If there are no more tokens left, then they will take a token from the player who has the most. The game will continue on without correcting the mistake. The game ends immediately when the deck runs out of cards. Each player will score their areas or zones. Each card is worth 1 point. In a solo game, the player scores the middle row. In a 2-player game, the starting player will score the left column and the second player will score the right column. In a 3-player game, the starting player scores the left column, The second player scores the middle column, and the third player will score the right column. In a 4-player game, each player will score an outside column. There will be 2 overlapping spaces for each player. Each reserve card that is left without being placed out is -3 points, and the player with the most reserve tokens at the end will receive 2 points. In the case of a tie for the tokens, all tied players will receive 2 points. The player with the most points wins. There are advanced scoring options, which replaces the basic scoring, which scores stacks of 2 or 3 cards. Stacks of exactly 0 or 1 card doesn't score anything. Each stack with exactly 2 cards scores 2 points, and each stack with exactly 3 cards will score 5 points. The stack with the most cards in the zone scores 1 point per card in that stack. And that's it. That's all there is to playing Cat Sudoku Summer Festival. Now let's check out what we thought of the game, where the groom will join me. So we're back. Tell you our thoughts on the game. See, I told you the groom would be here. So, what are your thoughts?
All right, so things I really liked about it is it's a really small footprint. The cards are a good size that when you have them in that 9x9 grid in front of you, it's not going to take up much. So this could be a really good portable game to take wherever you're going. If you're at like a family dinner, you can bring it to kill time until the meal comes. Instead of doing the screens, instead of having all the phones and tablets out, you can just pop down the game. We can take it when we go on little road trips places. It's going to be that nice one to kind of just fill that time, and because the games are quick, you can squeeze it in between doing things. What about you?
So, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I don't do very well with math games, regular Sudoku. I don't like, so I was a little hesitant, but it was actually very simple, very easy to do. It wasn't, there wasn't a whole lot of math thinking to do. It was a little thinky, trying to figure out, wait, nope, I can't do that. Nope, can't do that. But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, because as opposed to Sudoku that's got the 9 sets of the 3x3 squares, this is only the one 3x3. However, you also have color and number you have to look at, so it's not just number. So that adds that little extra level of the Sudoku-ness to it. Of you don't got to worry about just the number, the color, and then that adds that strategy of you may think just drawing that card and placing it has no thought about it, but it does, because as you're looking and you know you have your reserve cards, and where do I put it? And then maybe I'm going to block my opponent because I see my opponent has a green card, and if I can put this card here, they're going to have nowhere to go with their green card. So you can kind of hem them into a corner and then maybe even make it where they draw a card and that has to go to the reserve. So it isn't just this thoughtless game of grab a card and just put it exactly where it fits. You can do strategic card playing to kind of narrow your opponent's options in. So overall, this is definitely a game that we enjoyed. We did grab the youth for a playthrough and they enjoyed it as well. The artwork is super cute, and what's nice is the 1 through 9, they are all the same powers in the different colors, so there isn't a ton of, once you play the game, there's not a ton of reading, having to learn a ton of new powers for every single card. It's like, all right, so the 5s are going to do this, the 3s are going to do this, so that does help speed up the play and learning the game in general.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all in all, yeah, definitely check out Cat Sudoku
Summer Festival. We'll put a link in the video down below that you can check that out. While you're down there, you can also subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you can see future Kickstarter or other crowdfunding campaigns that we do on the channel, as well as the various other videos we produce. You also can comment on the video. Let us know if there's a certain cat you enjoyed the picture of.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Merry Meeples. We'll catch you later.